Hey everyone, I'm Kate Knowles. Welcome to our latest edition of ScriptlyAdapted Entertainment Presents Newsbrief number 2. And this is my co-host.
I'm Keely Howard, guys. Welcome to ScriptlyAdapted.
We wanted to talk about was some of the new releases that are coming out, as well as, happenings in Hollywood and the industry and stuff like that. So I'm going to let Keely take the reins.
Man of Steel last week came out. Big blockbuster hit so far. Made $116 million so far.
Yeah,
it's just going to grow. It did very well. It's just going to grow. It's Zack Snyder's vision of Superman, and it did really well. That movie, as well as This Is the End, the comedy with Seth Rogen, still up there, still doing well. Came in with an estimated $20 million. Added on to its total. Also, very funny film. Seth Rogen and all his boys. They always get together, do these great films. Really funny films. And it's a different take on the comedy, monster movie, sci-fi kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's a very rich mix of all three. This week we had the film Monsters University, which I do want to see, Kate.
I do. I haven't seen any of the others, though.
I am a fan. I'm a sucker for the cartoon, for the animation and the kids' movies. I love them. I think they have really great stories, and the substance great, and they make me laugh. I do enjoy them. We also have World War Z, which is also going to be probably a big hit to me. I've been reading some really great reviews on that film. Also, that's starring, of course, Brad Pitt, who makes his film return back into the action scene, I guess you would say, about a zombie apocalypse. Hopefully, it's good. We'll see. We don't have any numbers on how it did over the weekend yet, but I've been hearing some pretty decent things about the film. Another one that we recently saw.
Oh, God.
The Bling Ring. This is Sofia Coppola's, triumphant return to film in a very daring story that some might feel to fall flat, which I personally did.
I was really intrigued about it. I was really looking forward to it, and I think, basically, if you're looking for a movie with an extra story or a backstory or subplot or a love interest or something like that, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
And you know what? In a way, it's very interesting that Sofia Coppola, who is a very daring and talented filmmaker, I'm not a big fan of her style, but she is talented.
Right.
But she takes a story and basically just gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's just a plain story. There's no complicated... it's nothing. It's just, this is what happened, this is the consequences, and the end.
But in the beginning of the film, you kind of get that you were going to get that.
Right.
You were intrigued. You're like, okay, what's going on?
They
start off hot, but it just cooled through the entire...
You wanted more, but you were left feeling a little empty almost. It was an interesting concept. I have to say the acting was horrible. And it's interesting because when you see the previews, you think that Emma Watson, who played Hermione Granger in all the Harry Potter series, was the lead role, but she wasn't. And the only reason why they put her in all the previews and they made you think that is because she's Emma Watson, and she's acting aside people that don't have as much clout in the industry as she does. So that was a little misleading. Check it out. I would wait till it comes out on DVD.
Check it out on DVD or borrow it from a friend. Yeah. But Sofia Coppola, it's an artistry, and I do appreciate that she took it that way. But it just fell flat for me. One major trailer that I checked out recently, The Butler. I mean, I saw the trailer and chills. Starring Forrest Whitaker, Oprah Winfrey, Lenny Kravitz, John Cusack, Robin Williams.
Yeah, it's a hell of a cast, and it just gave me chills just watching
James Marsden. Just great story. I'm not going to get into it because it could be on the show one day.
Right.
But just a great story about a butler's life during presidencies. That's all I'm going to give you. And if you want to really see what it's about, check the trailer. All right.
Yeah.
The Butler.
There's an independent film being filmed right down the block
Yes.
from where I am. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Christina Hendricks from Mad Men, John Turturro. It's called God's Pocket. It's about a guy who's, I guess, trying to cover up the accidental death of his stepson. So
Look for that.
Yeah, it's an independent film, and it's supposed to be really, really good, and I did see him, which was awesome.
That was great. I missed
that. So check out those different, independent circuit as well. They need all your support as well. Fortunately, the industry has said goodbye to one of its premier actors, James Gandolfini.
Yeah, that was
known not solely for, but primarily for his role as Tony Soprano on HBO's The Sopranos. Really broke the wave to kind of come out and premiere and debut.
Especially on HBO.
On HBO and Showtime and stuff like that. And, I've seen him in other roles, and he was quite talented, He wasn't just a mobster. I saw him on the subway one day in the city, and he was so good at what he did that when I saw him on the subway, I almost just looked at him as Tony Soprano rather than James Gandolfini. It was really scary.
Thank you very much for joining us on our news brief, our second news brief.
Yes.
We'll bring them more to you. We'll just keep getting, more in depth on different topics to, bring to you about what's going on in entertainment, arts, everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on Scriptly Adapted. I'm Keely Howard.
And I'm Kate Knowles. Thank him for his, his commitment and his dedication to the acting industry.